Good evening to you all, and thank you for joining us here on Rwanda Television News tonight. We do hope you had yourselves a productive Thursday. Now here's a sneak peek into our edition. The Ministry of Justice is considering whether the crime of human trafficking should be classified as an imprescriptible offense, meaning it would not be subject to a statute of limitations. The Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Resources has said that accelerating the adoption of technology and strengthening collaboration in agriculture and livestock farming will be key to increasing productivity in the sector. We are glad to have your company tonight, coming to you straight from the heart of Africa, Kigali. My name is Martina Abera. Now, the Ministry of Justice is considering whether the crime of human trafficking should be classified as an imprescriptible offense, meaning it would not be subject to a statute of limitations. Officials say evidence in human trafficking cases is often discovered long after the crime has been committed, affecting victims' access to justice. Adam Squizera with more.
Human trafficking continues to escalate across the world, and Rwanda is not immune to the problem. The Directorate General of the Immigration and the Immigration says there are concrete cases that demonstrate the growing prevalence of the crime. We repatriated 45 people through massacre in Uganda, working closely with their authorities. All 45 have been trafficked to those countries. Each victim had to pay about 8,500 USD to the traffickers in order to be taken there. That is nearly 15 million Rwandan francs per person. Let me give you another example. Even today, we're in discussions with our embassy in South Korea regarding 28 Rwandans who are currently there. They were recently taken by an individual who is a pastor. Each of them had to pay between 3,000, 5,000 or 4,000 US dollars, depending on the amount they negotiated. They're still there, and the government is currently working on arrangements to bring them back. Senator Dr. Charles Murigande believes public awareness campaigns should be intensified so that citizens better understand the dangers of human trafficking, and those who may become targets are equipped with the knowledge to protect themselves. No one is taking you to Myanmar, Cambodia, or similar destinations to offer you a decent job. Those who are already there do not even have those decent jobs. People should be aware of this. From 2025 through March 2026, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation says it facilitated to return 289 people who had been trafficked abroad. They included 101 repatriated from Cambodia, 99 from Oman, 58 from Laos, and 31 from Myanmar. Based on these figures, the chairperson of the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, National Unity and Security, Honorable Hadija Murangwa-Ndangiza, said Rwanda's continued efforts to trace and repatriate trafficked citizens demonstrate the government's commitment to protecting its people. When you are able to detect information about potential victims before they are trafficked, how do you prevent the trafficking from taking place? Explain the mechanisms, coordination, and systems you use to identify and respond to these cases before they occur. In 2025, 12 people were convicted of human trafficking, compared to 18 convictions in 2024 and 24 in 2023. It is against this background that the Minister of Justice and Attorney General, Dr. Emmanuel Ugirashewusha, said the government is exploring additional legal measures to strengthen the fight against human trafficking, including the possibility of removing the statute of limitations for the offense.
Human trafficking is a very serious crime. Serious in the nature that, of course, it has serious impacts on those who have been trafficked, but also serious because it's difficult sometimes to achieve or to attain the evidence that is required for the crime to be prosecuted, because it involves different people, some of them outside the country. It's very sophisticated. There's use of technology in these emails and social media in order to attract people to be trafficked. So that's why it's serious, and we believe that the government has a role, and it has done quite a bit in trying, first of all, to prevent this crime through technology that has been deployed in the immigration, through sensitization, and through, of course, cooperation with other countries that are willing to cooperate with Rwanda in order to, first of all, deter this crime, but also prosecute the crime once it has happened. So it's quite a lot, but the key and where the government is putting a lot of resources and energy is prevention of this crime.
As part of implementing international conventions against human trafficking, the government of Rwanda has trained justice sector personnel and security officers, while also conducting awareness campaigns at various border posts to help prevent the crime. Adams Kwizera, RwandaTV News.
Members of the Chamber of Deputies in Parliament have approved a draft law governing agriculture, which is expected to further professionalize the sector and improve farmers' economic well-being. The draft law was approved as Rwanda works toward its Vision 2050 target of increasing agricultural production 15-fold compared with current levels. As part of the same vision, the country also plans for fewer than 30% of Rwandans to depend on agriculture as their primary occupation, with the sector becoming market-oriented and driven by advanced technology. The plenary sitting of the Senate has approved the report of the Senate Committee on Governance and Human Rights, together with a resolution to be submitted to the government to address gaps in laws and policies related to the provision of legal aid. The senators said greater efforts should be made to strengthen legal aid services, which would help the government deliver timely justice to citizens. The Senate Committee on Governance and Human Rights conducted an assessment of efforts to improve legal aid services here in Rwanda. Although progress has been made in the delivery of justice services, the committee identified a number of challenges. The 2022 Alternative Dispute Resolution Policy provides for an enactment of a new mediation law to establish a clear framework for helping citizens resolve disputes without going to court or having to seek assistance from multiple institutions. However, that law has not yet been enacted. These were among the key issues that led the senators to support the adoption of the report. The committee will monitor the implementation of its recommendations after the resolution is submitted to the government. Community mediators also play a significant role in resolving disputes and promoting reconciliation among citizens. Under the 2016 law governing Abunzi, mediation committees currently have jurisdiction to hear disputes involving movable and immovable property, as well as inheritance related to such property, provided the value of the claim does not exceed 3 million. Moving ahead, we have Dr. Ana Camila Esteves, who is a Brazilian journalist, researcher, and film curator, best known as the co-founder and director of the Mostra de Cinemas Africanos, African Film Festival in Brazil, the country's primary platform for contemporary African cinema. Holding a PhD in communication and culture from the Federal University of Bahia, her work focuses on the international circulation, distribution, and curation of African films. As a leading voice in South-South Cultural Cooperation, she actively builds bridges between South American and African film industries, including Rwanda and East Africa, by fostering co-productions, director exchanges, and global distribution pipelines for contemporary African storytellers. Anna, you're welcome.
Thank you. Me.
Yes, thank you for being here. Now, let me begin by asking you, what led you to become one of the founders of the African Film Festival in Brazil?
Yeah, well, everything started with Professor Mohamed Bamba. He's dead now, unfortunately, but he was my professor back in when I was doing my master degrees in Brazil. And I was always a film lover, but still I didn't know African cinema. And he was from Ivory Coast, so he was already a lover of African cinema, so he brought these films to my life. And I was amazed by the fact that I didn't know the diversity and how amazing those films were. I never heard of them, being a film lover, so how weird. So yeah, everything changed from that. And being a cultural producer, being a journalist, I just thought that I could come up with a qualified space to bring this film to Brazil so we can share this new vision of cinema by bringing African films to the country. So that's how the festival came to life.
Yeah. Thank you for that background, but if you could elaborate more, why such an interest in African cinema on your part? What sets it apart?
Yeah, well, I think my interest has been always in cinemas that are not in the global circuits, or those films that we don't know because they are not seen, they don't circulate enough. So I think that gap really caught my attention. So I am very interested in African cinema richness and diversity, because we don't get to see these films, but they do exist, right? So I thought the challenge of making these films more visible in Brazil was what struck me like the most. I really wanted to bring Brazilian audiences closer to those films. So yeah, it's because African cinema is cinema, right? We are talking cinema here. So yeah.
Thank you for that. And in that context and through your experience so far and what you have seen, what is your honest opinion of Rwandan films?
Oh, my honest opinion is the best opinion. I mean, it's incredible what filmmakers, young filmmakers, contemporary filmmakers are doing here in Rwanda. For me, it's actually an example of how they are persistent. They want to do films, they want to make cinema even in not the best conditions, right? They are occupying cinemas, they are making films that go to huge film festivals internationally. They are making a film festival here, so people here in Rwanda can watch films from the whole continent. So I think for me, what stands out in Rwandan cinema is that quality and talent it don't wait. It can't wait to come to life. So I really appreciate what filmmakers in Rwanda, what they are doing. They are really incredible work, incredible talented. So yeah, that's my very honest opinion.
Yes, and if you could offer any advice, what would it be in terms of what can be done to accelerate the development of the film industry here in Rwanda?
Well, I think here in Rwanda and everywhere, actually, I think people need to understand that cinema is a motto. It's a motto for economy. It's an industry, so it helps people make money. It moves the economy. So we are talking about jobs. We are talking about creative jobs. We are talking about creative economy. So I think once we understand that, we know that it's a good investment. It's a good investment to put money in cinema, because this money is coming back to the country. So yeah.
Thank you very much. And lastly, is there anything else you would like to share with our viewers before we conclude the interview?
Yeah, sure. I would like to invite everyone to come to Kigali Scene Junction. It's happening until Sunday in several parts of the city. It's an amazing work. More than 30 films from everywhere on the continent. They are being shown here, most of them for the first time. So yeah, just come and enjoy. Yes.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ana Camila Estevez, co-founder and director of the Mostra de Cinemas Africanos. Thank you for taking the time to speak to Rwanda Television.
So thank you for having me.
Yes, and we would like to thank her once again for joining us in the studios. As we move ahead, the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Resources has said that accelerating the adoption of technology and strengthening collaboration in agriculture and livestock farming will be key to increasing productivity in the sector. The remarks came as the 19th Agriculture and Livestock Exhibition officially opened on Thursday. Among the innovations on display at this year's exhibition are artificial intelligence-powered devices used for artificial insemination in cattle, as well as technologies that help detect when cattle and other livestock are in heat. The technology addresses the challenge of unsuccessful artificial insemination and can also identify health conditions that prevent cows from conceiving. Participants at the Agriculture and Livestock Exhibition said the technologies being showcased offer practical solutions to many of the challenges facing agriculture and livestock farming. The Minister of Agriculture and Animal Resources, Dr. Telesfo Ndabamenye, said the government of Rwanda has invested heavily in increasing agricultural and livestock production through research. He emphasized that the exhibition also serves as a platform for sharing knowledge and innovation. The 19th Agriculture and Livestock Exhibition has brought together more than 600 exhibitors. It features machinery, equipment, agricultural inputs, and a wide range of innovations, all aimed at boosting productivity in the agriculture and livestock sectors. On that note, we've come to the end of tonight's English News Bulletin. On behalf of the news production team and the technical team, thank you for sticking with us here on RTV News. My name is Martina Abera, and until next time, stay safe and have a good night.